What's up, everybody? Chef Henry Dudley, also known as Chef Hent Dogs, also known as @Chef Henry Dudley on Instagram. You're now tuning in to Chef Gang Radio, aka the Chef Gang Podcast. Really quick, a little bit about myself. 24-year veteran in the culinary industry. I've been a sous chef, executive chef, corporate executive chef, food and beverage director. You name it, I've probably done it in this game. And we're here today, and we're going to be here doing these podcasts to talk some real life, real raw shit just about the restaurant game itself. The good, the bad, the ugly, catering, everything. You know what I'm saying? We're here to first explore, and then we're going to inform, and then we're going to educate. My co-host, I'm going to swing it to them. Chef.
You don't know my name?
You gotta tell the world. You gotta introduce yourself.
That was a very good introduction, Chef Henry Dudley. Thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Chef Kimberly Van Klein, also known as Passion for the Palate, also known as @Chef Kim Van Klein on Instagram. Basically, I'm a caterer, aka the catering queens, what I've been called. I'm the person that you want to come to for high-end, upscale cocktail parties, weddings, things of that nature. That's what my specialty is in. I love taking very, very unique classical, classic meals, entrees, and flipping them into small bites with big flavor. That's what I'm known for. I'm really happy to be a part of this podcast because it's been a long time coming. But as you know, everything has to be done in its divine time. And so I feel the time is now because there's a lot of things out here in this culinary industry that basically just sickens me to my stomach, to say the least. And
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And I love the millennials and I love what some of them are doing, but some of y'all need to get your little throat snatched up and bring it back to where it needs to be come from. Some of y'all ain't got no home training. So we're going to take this podcast and we're going to just make it a platform for everybody to come in, feel free to voice their opinions, give their feedbacks, and just help get this black chef community back where it needs to be. I'm announcing over to our next boy, which is Rael, and he's going to take it from here.
Yeah, well, thank you all. Thank you so much. I'm Rael Bradley. I'm a restaurant manager. I'm a general manager at this point at the Granite City Food and Brewery in the National Harbor. For those who don't know, come see me. I've been in this industry for about 8 to 10 years, on and off. So I know the ins and outs. I live for the details in it all.
Right.
I'm very corporate restaurant-esque, so I know all the ins and outs. It's just what I live for. That's what my passion is. It's definitely the restaurant life. So just here to add my insights from that and, shake it up a bit.
Cool.
Shake it up.
So we ain't here to just have fun. We're here to talk some shit and to get down to the bottom of some stuff. But at the same time, I want to make sure that, we are educating the population about the restaurant game. You know what I'm saying? You can pick up your phone at any time and go on Instagram, go on Facebook, and you're going to see a whole lot of shit. Right? Being a certified chef my entire career, I've seen a lot of food, and I'm classically trained, so I know food's supposed to be like this. At least that's what I was told, right? That's how I was trained. But you see all type of crazy going on right now. You see chefs that are just selling food online. You see guys that are, that the presentations ain't looking good. People just think that they're totally abandoning the whole professional side of cooking. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on these days? How y'all feeling about that?
It's almost like it's not a craft sometimes, It's like it's just a job.
Right.
Everyone thinks they can do it. It's not a hard job.
A lot of soldier boys, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fucking soldier boys in the game today. Everybody feel like they can do it.
Agreed.
I feel it just took a left when social media got really big. I feel like social media gave people a platform. It's the place where trolls can come and talk shit behind the phone and you don't know who they are. You got a lot of people that's out there that think they can cook. And I go back to, this is the parents' fault. Like, if you put your child in a contest, or you think that your child can sing, or they can, and then, they're the next Michael
Everybody
Jackson,
don't get a trophy, right?
Beyonce. I'm like, come on, people, your child. That little motherfucker can't sing.
Right.
And you put them out there on mainstream media, doing these YouTube videos, and that's gonna do more damage to their self-esteem than anything else.
Right.
You gotta be honest with your kids, and I feel what we see out here right now on social media when it comes to the food and the culinary industry is disrespectful. It's just blatant disrespect. Like, you gotta look at where's the passion. There's no passion. Like, I'm tired. If I see another motherfucking lobster tail fried and another crab fried in the shell on mac and cheese and all this gravy on it, I'm gonna shoot myself. Like, real talk. Like, that's not real cooking. Like, real cooking comes from the heart. How we said when you do gumbo, you just said this. You know good gumbo. You make good gumbo. You make good gumbo. It's a process to that. There's no shortcuts in a real, authentic gumbo. There's no shortcuts.
It's love.
And and I feel all the social media gives people these so-called, and I'm gonna call it this, IG chefs. And don't get me wrong here. I happen to be classically trained. So have you. I don't know if you know you. So you didn't go to culinary school, right? But he manages the whole restaurant by himself, and he's really good at it. But what I will say is that you don't have to be classically trained. It all starts with the love in your heart. And it all starts with passion. I don't believe school can teach you how to cook.
Yes.
I believe school can teach you technique. It can teach you the lingo of the kitchen. It can teach you how to run a restaurant, hospitality, all these things. Cooking comes from within.
So let's talk about culinary school. So I went to culinary school in the late 90s, right? Right out of college, did my own thing with the record industry for a while. Went to culinary school because actually I didn't find cooking found me. You understand what I'm saying? I never had any intent on being a chef. Cooking was a side hustle to me, just for the simple fact that coming from my family was second nature. I was good at it.
Right.
What do you mean cooking found you?
Meaning that I did not seek out to be a professional chef. You know what I mean? With my grandmother teaching me how to cook and being a latchkey kid and cooking on my own and so forth for survival purposes, you get what I'm saying? It wasn't in me to be like, yo, I'm gonna grow up and be a chef one day. You understand what I'm saying? I wanted to be a record company executive. That was my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Are you puffy?
And then I was doing the record company job during the day, and I was supplementing my income at night and cooking in a restaurant. It so happened I was good at it. The chef convinced me that this is what I should do with my life. I went to culinary school part-time. I've been rocking with it ever since. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it found me. I didn't find it. I wasn't looking for it. It's kind of like falling in love with a girl that you never thought you was gonna fall in love. They just dropped out this air one day, and you're like, oh shit, now I'm in love. You get what I'm saying? That was kind of the same thing with that.
But did you feel the same way? Did you feel that that's what you be doing with your life? When he felt that about you, when he came?
Nah, I didn't. It took me some time to really figure it out and look at my hands and look at what I was presenting and what I was doing and looking at what other people was doing. I was on the same level as them. So it's just a natural progression for me. And it's culinary school just fine-tuned all that. It taught me, I was cooking, but I didn't know why. When I got to culinary school, I learned why. If that makes sense. I learned technique. I learned how to do this. I learned, a process of how to get from butter to butter sauce. I learned how to get from other sauces and derivatives and so forth, so on and sauce and da-da-da. So with that said, nowadays it seems like culinary schools are just turning and burning kids out. It's so for profit now.
And giving them false hope.
Yeah, it's so for profit now. They're giving them probably half the education that they gave us and turning them out in the world. And these kids can't cook for shit. So they go into these, this is my opinion, they go into these restaurants and they're working, they're getting their asses kicked on the line. They don't want to do that kind of work. They don't want to put that type of work into it. And then they come out, they go on IG and take the little bit that they learned in the kitchen, and all of a sudden they chef such and such, and chef this and chef that. Well, no, they just glorified line cooks.
Right.
They were line cooks that learned a little bit, and they jumped out the window. So, am I being unfair in that assessment, or?
No. How long did it take you to really feel comfortable saying that you were a chef? After culinary school, I'm saying. How many years do you feel it took you to really say and be confident in that knowing that you owned your craft at that point to say, you know what, now I can call myself a chef?
It took me some time because I felt, because of the way I came through the industry, you had to earn that title. Just because you went to school for it doesn't mean, like, you don't go to law school, then you walk out of law school.
And all of a sudden you're like...
You're an
you got
attorney.
a brilliant doctorate and you're like, bam.
Right, you understand what I'm saying? So it took time for me to get to that point. When I first got my first business card that said Henry Dudley, sous chef, to me, okay, I'm a chef now. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to work my way to that. Nowadays, like, people will just go online and say, call themselves anything.
Right.
So my concern is, like, you know, I'm gonna throw this question to y'all. What is that doing to the industry? That's the first question. And the second question is, can we blame the internet chefs for what they do? Is it a valid hustle?
I think for me, so my story is different. So I was always corporate. I didn't go to culinary school till I was in my late 30s, approaching 40. But I always loved to cook. I was always that girl that you came to my classroom, or you came, to my house. I was cooking. I was doing pans back in the day out my house. Lenox Terrace. I was selling fried fish and chicken and ribs and all this kind of stuff. Always loved and was really good at cooking. So I can always cook because I had a grandmother that can cook. And I was taught that at a very young age. When I went to school, reality set in. Because now I'm coming from a 6-figure income in the corporate world, being in my job for over 15 years, to now I want to be a chef. But when I made that transition, I wasn't ready for such the salary.
Right.
So
this was career change for you?
Career change.
This was later on in life?
Later on in life.
Right. This wasn't straight out of high school, I want to be a chef.
I already
right.
established myself. I had bills up the ass at this point.
Right.
And I had to make a decision, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I was smart in the fact that, and got lucky in the fact, and thank you God, that he gave a package. So the package that we got, I had so many years in the company, I got a really nice, hefty package that I can kind of, come out, leave the job, resign with a nice package, nice 401k, set that aside, paid my rent up for a year, and now I'm going to dive into this culinary world and get my ass kicked. I did internship. I started going to the Hamptons cooking. I worked this place, that place. I learned very early on I did not want to be in a restaurant. I learned that very early on.
Come on, you didn't want that smoke?
Very early on.
Come on, man.
No.
Come on.
I worked for John George, right? And I worked at a place he had named JoJo's, and it was in Manhattan. It was in Lexington Avenue. It was in the Brownstone. Really high-end French fine dining at its finest, right? The sous chef there, West Indian dude, was just fucking disrespectful, and I'm trying to work the line and do my job, but if he made another sexist joke or said something sideways at his face, I was gonna punch him in his fucking mouth. So it got to the point that it got so bad that I spazzed it in the kitchen and I cursed his ass the fuck out. And I knew once I did that, I couldn't go back. So it was fine. And then I was just like, you know what, Kim, what speaks to you? You guys know the kind of person that you are. I know me, I'm creative, right? I like being creative. I like things getting pretty, this, that, and the third. So I said, what could you do? This culinary, like there's more than one job in this whole industry. It doesn't have to be an executive chef of a restaurant.
Right.
It could be anything. So I started looking into private chefing and being a personal chef, catering. So that's how I ended up where I'm at now.
Right.
And that's what spoke to me, and that's been my journey, and I've been very successful at it. What was your other question?
So, I mean, we were talking about culinary schools, but also we talking about
IG chefs.
like the
right.
IG chefs. So, taking your experience and like later on in life, you was like, yo, I feel like this is what I want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how different is that from what IG chefs are doing now?
Right. So when I went to culinary school and got out and was doing my thing and traveling, going to Hamptons and cooking for all these people, then started doing a couple of Food Network shows and this and the third. IG had just come out. Something had just come out. It wasn't really something that's out there that you can go in there and put your food up there and talk smack and get feedback and this, that, and the third. So then when me and you met, that's when that wave started.
Right.
Like there was a IG page called Cooking for Bay. And he was just putting...
Cooking for Bay is still rocking too.
Right.
Shout out to Cooking for Bay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't come up here and show your face, you know what I mean, to the
Right.
Chef Gang Radio podcast.
Exactly, because this dude's page is funny because he posted stuff that people put, and in their mind,
some
they,
shit.
They're doing something.
They're cooking for Bay.
Right.
They're doing
Cooking
the
for
best they
Bay.
can.
But the shit be fucked up. It be all kind of, what was that shit? It was chicken and waffles and a burger. It was a chicken, waffles, lettuce, tomatoes, like the fucking chicken and waffle Big Mac.
Some dude did a cake. The cake was all meatloaf and mashed potatoes was the frosting.
What?
And he had chicken wings on top of it
No.
as a decoration, like carrot cake. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and they was doing something. And so I think what happens is that this just shows the lack of you going to a real classically trained school. Because had you gone to school, you would not put no shit out there that looked like that.
Right.
Because you wouldn't be proud of that.
Right.
Where I think culinary school taught us passion and the love of cooking and the science behind cooking. I know there's a lot of science behind this. And the chefs that taught you had a passion for it.
Got
And
it.
so when you were taught from people that had a passion for what they do, it kind of just made you want to be more proud and stick your chest out. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. I'm in culinary school. It's what I want to do. I'm gonna put, and it's just a whole different dynamic. But this,
Yeah. So
the
Rael,
IT shit is-
you're a GM.
Yeah.
You're a restaurant manager. I've known you way back since you were a bartender, bar manager, all that stuff.
Yeah, no,
So-
tell
you
where
seen-
you came from. Tell your story. Then come up to
Oh,
that.
so you've seen a lot
That's an
of
important
stuff
piece.
come through. You've seen a lot of chefs come through. Now that you like an industry professional and like you lead men and women in a restaurant scene, like what do you see out there as far as like culinarians? Like what's going on today in real time? What do you see coming through?
Well, for the culinarians, I think that level of that IG chef that you feel, that comes through the restaurant industry too.
Mm-hmm.
People feel like, I make plates. To me, it's the same. Because it's
Right.
like, I make plates, so that makes me a chef. No, that doesn't make you a chef. Like,
It means you making plates.
That means you know how to make a plate. And
Right.
your plates aren't even that great.
Right.
But you see a lot of that. You see a lot of people who just are glorified cooks. And in the restaurant industry, if you're not with a brand that hones in on the chefs, you find a lot of that throughout your entire
Right.
brand.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, this was a cook and, they're dedicated and, they show up. Anybody can show up.
Anybody can show
I
up.
can have a dishwasher show up. Did that make him an
Right.
executive chef?
Right.
No. But a lot of times that's what we get. And I've seen plenty of people, the high level, the low level, the mid level, and it fluctuates so much because they know how to make something look good or they know how to talk about something. Like I had an executive chef, he could talk a good game. Good game. Like just because he knew about jicama.
Mm-hmm.
They got so excited. Oh, you know what jicama is? Okay, whoop-de-doo. Okay, so just because in this area most people don't know what jicama is doesn't make him executive chef quality because he knows one thing that someone else doesn't.
Right.
That's a cultural issue.
Right.
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 That's not a
Maybe he grew up with jicama.
right. Look at his nationality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
of course he knows what jicama is.
Right.
So, and a lot of times, like in the restaurant industry, like we, especially in like my position, we kind of get handed these executive chefs who kind of are just like home cooks,
Right.
and they're not even good at that.
Right.
They're just like, you know what, I've been around.
That's one thing I see a lot. A lot of chefs, and I'm not going to name drop, but there's a lot of chefs in the DMV area, black chefs at that. You know what I mean? Because right now we really talking about black chefs, chefs of color. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're really honing in on. Like,
Right.
a chef is a chef is a chef. We could all cook, but right now I think the disparity in the industry comes when we have conversations about chefs of color. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of chefs I see that come through are just like what we talking about. Like they don't want to put in the work.
They don't.
They don't want to cook.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of long hours and long days, and
Yep.
you got to work holidays, and you got to
Yep.
work weekends,
Yep.
and you got to work nights, and
Yep.
you got to take time away from your family, and so forth and so on, to feed other people. And I just don't think that these days the chefs of color are looking to put that kind of work in to somebody else's restaurant.
Right. So, and I think I can speak on that, especially because in the years that I've been in the restaurant industry, you see that a lot. But they're the same ones who are like, well, I don't understand why they put so much pressure on this, or I don't understand why. Well, it's because when you look at your actions, If this was your shit,
Right.
you'd be acting a little bit different.
Right.
Right.
And it could be at the end of the day, because everyone thinks that it's so easy to open up a restaurant.
It's not.
It's not by a long shot. So why not take the opportunity to work for someone and use their money
right.
to get fundamental tools to
move on to the next level.
to when it is you can go to another position. And then you know what? Guess what? I've gathered so much knowledge from being in this industry, working with this company. This company allowed me to use my ideas and run with it, and they're just rocking with it because they don't know anything better. Some companies don't know any better. If you try to start presenting them with stuff, like for example, what I'm doing now, I present them with stuff. They're like, we don't even know what you're talking about. Go ahead and do it. Here's the money.
Right.
And when you see the goods and bads and you kind of weigh it out, then you can say, you know what, I'm gonna put that in my pocket. That's not a good move.
Right.
And you use it. But a lot of times, especially our people, we're not receptive of that failure to use it as a stepping block to get to where we want to be. Everyone tells us, oh, you want to work for the man. Listen, child, the man is paying the bills and he ain't got no problem doing it. So I'm going to let him pay for a little bit because I want to get to a point where it's mine.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take ownership of what I have, this space, because if I continue to have that ownership of it, when I move into my own, I will always also have that ownership. But if I don't have the ownership now, you're not going to be able to just click on it like that. You're going to click on it once you start realizing that all your money's
I mean,
gone.
my question is, whatever happened to the black executive chef? Where is he?
Burnt out, running around talking to himself on 8th Street.
Yeah. A lot of us burn out. A lot of us, when you talk about that pressure that a lot of chefs are under, you know, a lot of the African American chefs, they can't handle, or they haven't historically been able to handle that kind of pressure. And or is it that they can't handle it? Is it that they don't want to put that work into it because they don't feel like they're getting monetarily, you know what I'm saying? You know, I always push back when people say in the industry that black people are lazy. I don't think that black people are lazy. I think black people always gauge how much work I'm going to do versus how much I'm getting paid. And we tend to do that more than to say, okay, well,
let me just do my job and then make it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just do my job and like kind of jump out there and make it happen. You know, because that's where I'm at. Like, I feel like I make enough.
Right.
Not necessarily. I make enough to like do what I need to do. And guess what? I'm gonna put me on the table. Like, what's up? They couldn't be done. I just did it. Where is my
Where's
money?
the money?
Right.
And then I can
think
argue with
another
that.
thing, yeah, I think another piece to that, important piece, is that, say, an executive black chef already is not getting paid the same money as a white executive chef. And I think even in this whole industry, we are always the lower paid. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? We're always the lowest paid when it comes to a white person coming in that don't even do the work that we can do, but they get paid more money than what they should get paid. And I think when we go into something getting that, you go into this whole mindset of that, why am I going to put all this extra work in this when I'm not going to get paid for it, get compensated for it anyway, but yet this white boy can come up here that has not done half of what I've done, been to culinary school, trained under another chef, but yet he's in my seat, and now he can actually take my job and get more money.
There's a lot of people who are going to watch this show and listen to this show who are they're just on the customer end, they're on the patronage end, they're not, you know, and it's time for us to kind of pull the cover off of that so people can really understand
Pull the sheet back.
everything that's going on while you're sitting there and
Just
you're
trying to enjoy
yourself
Right.
in a restaurant. There's a whole culture.
Whole other world.
There's a whole other world
going right as you sit
behind
there.
that wall. And there is acute and direct degrees of racism and cultural disenfranchisement and things like that in the restaurant industry.
But before you get to that, I want to double back. When you talked about culinary schools and how they just taking money from these kids and giving them false hopes and this, that, and the third. Remember City Table? The young girl that came and spoke to us and wanted a job there. And we put we put her on a trial day. So she said, "Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem. This, that, and the third."
She was co-signing all day.
Because I'm like, I'm from Harlem, so I gotta rep my borough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm repping Harlem. He said, yeah, boo, that's you. That's your girl. Go rep Harlem. I'm like, all right. All right. So she come out, told, we made her speak, and she said, yeah, I could cook, I could do this. I know how to cook in the kitchen, da-da-da. Mind you, she's in a culinary program, right? In a program. But it's like, I want to come in the trail one day. I want to work here, this and the third. So we put it through the process. Henry had to come in. She was late. But then she gets there.
Right.
And we gave her 5 things to do: cut up onions, prep crab cake mix.
Bro,
How long
just
did she
basic
take?
stuff. She got there 10 something.
it was she got there at she's supposed to be there at 9. She got there about 9:30. She started working at 10.
Right.
She finished the list about 3:30,
3:30.
4 o'clock.
Right. For these basic things. So after she's done, and then she's slow as hell, but you told me you cook.
Right, because you're supposed to
Like you told me that you know to do all this already, right? And so we sat there with her after. So we said, how do you think you did?
Yep.
Well, I know it's a little slow, and I got a little late, and I took my time, and da-da-da-da. I said, okay. So where do you want to go from here? I said, because right now we can't offer you a position that's going to be paid. If you want to come here and learn from us, then you can intern. We'll give you school credit.
Well,
whatever
I
you
was
want
going
us
to give
do.
her an internship with a stipend. I was
Right.
going to give her a stipend to get to and from work. A little put, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to be a regular wage, but
Right.
Right.
But something to say,
Right.
I got something under my belt.
So I said, you got our numbers. Get back to me. We'll give you a few weeks. I'll give you till next week. Get back to me. Let me know what you want to do. Next week came. She didn't call. She comes into the restaurant with her friends or whatever case may be.
they came for dinner.
They came for dinner. So I go snatch her up and said, come on, let's go talk real quick. I said, I haven't heard from you. I said, so what's going on? Well, I spoke to my mother, and my mother knows I can cook. And she said, and so I'm going to be honest with you, I was insulted. So now I lean in. I'm like,
Insulted.
what was you insulted about? Well, because, I told y'all that I could cook, and then, you got me chopping up onions
That's
and
a
chopping
part
up
of
this and
being a
chopping up
cook.
this and the third. And I, and I want, I thought that I would, just come in here and be on the line and do brunch and
No.
put out food.
No.
I said, sweetheart, let me say something to you. I said, my internship, and I did not get paid. You know where I was at? In the basement with Mexicans. chopping up cases. Not fucking 4 and 5. Cases of onions.
Right.
Cases of mushrooms.
Right.
Fabricating cases of chicken. Fabricating cases of salmon. Prepping for, are you kidding me right now? I said, this is the problem with you young millennials right now. You go to school, you go in this craft, just think that, you feel that you know everything. And you haven't even finished the program.
Right.
I said, what do you want to be at the end of this? You're in school to be what? I want to be a restaurant consultant. I said, okay. So you want to come straight out of school and be a restaurant
And telling
consultant.
me how to run my business.
Right. I said, so let me ask you a question.
Ain't never
Do you
ran a
know?
business a day.
Do you know food costs?
No.
She was like,
No.
I said, break down the food cost for me. I said, okay. Here's a plate. You got steak, potatoes, asparagus. Break down all those costs for me and tell me what my profit, what I should make profit margin-wise from that plate. What it costs you and what you're going to charge the customer for that plate. Break that down for me right now, Miss Food, Miss Restaurant Consultant. And she couldn't.
She was like 21.
She was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where y'all getting this mindset? But this is who's on Instagram.
Well, the other piece to that is that to backtrack about what we're talking about and where the industry has went. Nobody's putting in the work and the research anymore. Mm-hmm. So what's happening is, you know what I'm saying, just like we had a conversation the other day. I was like, yo, it's like the studio. You know what I mean? When I came up through the 90s, everybody was in the studio. Everybody was making a rap album. Everybody was making a demo,
right.
or whatever, because Soulja Boy said that it was okay to make his own beats on his laptop,
right.
and he started pushing that shit out to the world. And I'm just not picking on Soulja, I'm just saying in general.
Right.
Or Puff came out with Bad Boy Records, and everybody thought that they could come up with their own record label and shit like that. And everybody said, so it's that same effect. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like everybody feels like they could cook. Everybody feels, yo, girl, your fried chicken is amazing. Now she a chef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now she's on Instagram.
Right.
Come to my house between 4 and 6 on Sunday, and pick it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think right now what's happening is you're seeing a trend of younger chefs, quote unquote, that feel as if they could just do it. They don't need no time, they don't need no research, nothing. They can just call themselves whatever they want to call it, and they could just do it. And I think what's happening is, and again, I'm not totally against that. I think I love the hustle, but I love it when I see people who are doing that actually know what they're doing.
And have a passion behind it.
And having a passion behind it, and not just somebody who's doing it because that's the new wave hustle for right now.
Right.
Yeah, like I think being a chef is the new drug dealer.
Right, or like
It's a new drug
I
dealer.
was just thinking about the girl that sold candies in school. That's what it is.
Right.
I sell plates. I got cakes. I got
Right.
cakes. I got whatever you need.
Yams,
I got-
potatoes.
I got edibles too
You know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
side.
Right, and then I got pouches. I got pouches with drinks. Like I get you your whole kit and caboodle right here.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
I'm in the hair. No, I was in the hair salon and the chick came in there with liquored, spiked, healthy juices.
What?
Spiked
That's such an
smoothies.
oxymoron. What?
I'm like, what's a spiked smoothie? Okay, so it's supposed
So
to be
you put all
healthy.
the calories
It's
into-
supposed to be healthy, but now you add liquor to it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just hope that it takes that I really feel as if just like in any industry, the game is going to come back.
Right.
It is.
The true chef, the true culinarian, the true person with passion and so forth and so on, it's all going to come back. It's all going to make a full circle. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that this wave is not dumbing down the consumer so much that when it does come back,
Well,
knows
let me
what the hell's
say
gonna
this. If Instagram ever goes away, everybody's fired. Everybody done lost their damn job.
I mean, it's true, and I think
Everybody lost their job.
I think that people also like nowadays they're expecting more. I don't know where it came from, but they're expecting more out of the experience.
Yeah.
So cool, and it's okay. And not everybody says something. Like we talk about that all the time in the restaurant life. Not everyone's gonna say something. So you may come and you may have an okay experience, but guess what? I don't need to complain because it wasn't bad. But I'm not about to keep going back. So you might be good now because I liked it once because that's what I ordered. But before I knew that it was good or bad, and then now it's bad, I'm not gonna go back to your page and unlike it.
right.
I didn't forgot I already liked it because I'm unfollowing you now.
Right.
But my like is still there, so it looked
Right.
like you did it. Shablam. It looks good.
The shablam.
Shablam looks good, but it
That's a
don't
new
taste good.
culinary term.
The shablam.
And that means what?
There it is.
That shit is
give
all
it-
that. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
there it
saying? A
is.
little sorbet
Yeah.
with it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wrap it up. I think this was a great conversation. Chef Kim, any final thoughts?
I think the next episode we gotta talk about money, like finances in the culinary industry. Why so many chefs of color don't know numbers.
That's a
Can't
whole.
write
That is a
something.
whole
That's
another
a whole,
episode.
just that.
No, I mean, I feel that you're in this field to make money and run a business. But if you don't know numbers, how you really running your business?
I was always told, Henry, if you don't know the score, how you gonna win the game?
Agreed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
yeah, we're gonna have that as another topic for the podcast. Rael, final thoughts.
I'm just like I said, glad to be in the space. It's definitely needed. I can't wait till we get to that topic because it comes back to something I said earlier about people not wanting to be work for the man and understand because it's just another schooling, if you will.
Another education.
Yeah, but like I said, super excited. See what
and like this platform, I feel it's here to educate. It's for us to learn as well. For us to learn from people. When people start to call and give us their insight and stuff like that. But it's just for us as a community to come together and understand this whole hospitality industry from every point, from your job to catering to executive chef to private chef to opening a restaurant to all these different things.
Got
So
it.
I'm gonna try some light on that.
My final thought is one of my favorite rappers, Nasty Nas. He once came out with a platform and said, "Hip hop is dead." You know what I'm saying? And I'm just wondering, is the culinary game dead? Is the chef game dead? You know what I'm saying? Can we save it out here? Can we make it better? You know what I mean? This platform is here, like we said, to expose, you know what I mean? To elaborate, and then to educate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk a lot of shit on here, but enough respect to all chefs in the industry. It takes a lot to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? But where there's shit, there's shit. You know what I mean? Where there's smoke, there's fire. So we gotta call it how we see it.
Yes,
So
sir.
All right, everybody out there, it's time to go eat.
Yes.
yeah, we're about to go break some bread. Thank you, everybody. Chef Gang Radio, Chef Gang Podcast. See you on the next joint.
See you next time.